So I wanted to talk about a topic today. First off, good morning everybody, whoever see this live. Hopefully everybody blessed. Hopefully everybody pushing through. Another day, another chance. Your happiness, another day, another dollar. Another day, more healing. Another day just to rejoice in. The topic I want to talk about, and it's the reason why I want to talk about it, and I'll get into that, is mental health. Mental health is an important topic that most people deem to be an elephant in the room. Like, most people like to, they see it, they know it's a problem, but I'm going to ignore it. I don't want to talk about it. They feel embarrassed to talk about mental health. They feel ashamed, or they just rather ignore it. And ignoring your mental health is very detrimental, and mental health is very important because we all go through some type of mental health. Once you live your life, once you think, once you experience, your mental is affected. That's actually a field I want to get into. I'm going for bachelor's of social work, but I want to branch off into mental health because mental health is very important to me for a number of reasons. For one, I've always been the type that, listen to my friends vent about their problems, and I help them, and they like it. So, and I realize that I care about the mental health of people, like even people I don't know. Like, I don't take a strong person to want to do that job, but I think I would do good as a psychiatrist, a therapist, something like that. But it's a lot of people out here in this world walking around with mental health problems, and they don't even know it. And that's alarming in itself. Some people walking around on the spectrum, of autism, autistic a little bit. Some people are struggling with ADHD, ADD, and just to name a few, and other things that they don't even know about. And they probably thinking it's normal. They thinking it's probably out of their control. They thinking it's something wrong with them. And it's kind of not, just their wires are wired differently. And a disclaimer, anybody that's going through mental health, you are not, nothing is wrong with you. You are a normal person. You just require more than an average person. You feel more than the average person. You go through more than the average person. You just require extra. That doesn't mean nothing's wrong with you. And I feel that's the most reason why people don't talk about mental health, because they feel they're going to get judged, or they feel like they're handicapped. They feel held back. Now, the reason why I'm talking about mental health is because it's been an important topic these past couple of years, especially since COVID happened, mental health. That's when mental health first really came about. It'd been about, but people started paying attention to mental health when COVID first came, when we had to be quarantined and sit in the house. Now all of a sudden, that's when everybody posted like, oh my God, I have to face my problems. I have to be I'm depressed, actually. That's when everybody wanted to deal with their problems when COVID came. So that was the first initial presentation that showed us that mental health is very important, COVID. But long story short, I struggle with my own mental health issue. I wasn't going to put it out there because it was my business, and I just didn't want to talk about it. But sometimes I feel like I help heal people through my stories, or I just help people feel comfortable talking about shit. Like, long story short, my therapist told me that she thinks, that I have ADHD, and I've always heard about ADHD when I was a kid. I've actually had friends that had it when I was a kid. Maybe I had it back then, didn't know. And I always would see, how they would act. And I know it's levels to ADHD. I know it's levels to it. Some people have it worse than others. Now, my friends back in the day, they had it, and I used to, observe them. They were very hyper, they sometimes would just have moments where they just wouldn't make sense and just do weird stuff. Like, I can't explain it, but that was my first run-in with ADHD, and I never thought that my therapist would tell me she think I have it. So I was trying to process that, you know what I'm saying? I was sitting there, then I started thinking about my past. Like, I think she right. I think I might have it because I went back to high school days. Like in high school, I used to struggle with my memory retention. I used to struggle with paying attention. I used to struggle with remembering things. I used to struggle with listening for long periods of time in school, and that made me have problems with some of my schoolwork. And now I'm thinking like, that's why I had difficult times remembering, learning, and I still did really good though. So I want to be proud of myself for that. But stuff just makes sense now. With my brother, I did something with him one time. Because with ADHD, you have a hard time regulating your emotions as well. And I see that in myself. I struggle with regulating and calming myself down sometimes. Like anything I feel be super big, like big. Like it don't be small, it be big. Like, and that's the thing with ADHD. Everything you feel and experience is just heightened times 10 sometimes. Like, and you got to calm yourself down in that moment. You be just like wanting to explode and go off, but you got to like calm yourself down. And that's something I'm just now trying to do. But before that, I wouldn't calm myself down. I would just blow up. So I would have big blow ups, like horrible ones. Like I did something to my brother, harmed him physically when I was younger, and to this day he has not forgiven me for it. You know what I'm saying? He's a tourist, they hold on to shit. But my thing is, I'm not using my mental health as an excuse, but why I was so angry back then, because I couldn't control myself. I couldn't control my emotions, my regulation, and how I feel. I couldn't control that shit. And one thing I want to say is mental health most definitely does affect your relationships with people in your life. I've seen it, like, and I'm not saying any of this for nobody to feel bad for me. I'm saying this because I want to feel understood. I feel like nobody understands me. And I feel like a lot of people that struggle with mental health feel like they're not understood. The person will be quick to just cast them to the side or deal with them when they want to, or, oh, Antoine or this person, they too much. Like, they always too much. Like, I just can't. And that's just really wrong. Like, I feel like sometimes they can't help being too much. If you love them, you should still be there for them to help them. Like, my sister was one of the only people I feel like that I told about this situation that understood me. Like, after I told her, she actually was on the phone with me. She was like, a lot of stuff makes sense now. Because I even do this zoning out thing where people talk. I'm talking to people and I'm zoning out. Like, I zone out because I be in my head thinking about something. Like, and I don't do it on purpose. Like, I be having to struggle to keep my attention on people. And I don't like that because it looks like I don't care. I was not looking at it. It looks like he's not paying attention to me. He doesn't care. All that good shit. But that's nothing but further from the truth. I do care. I'm just struggling to motherfucking keep my mind here because it's so hard to explain with words, but it's real. Like, I got two modes where I'm either super forgetful and not paying attention, or I get in hyper focus mode. Because in hyper focus mode comes because I know I can be forgetful. So I'm like, okay, laser precision. Can't forget this. Keep it in your head. But then when I'm doing something and focus on that, I can forget everything else. So it still cancels out. Like, okay, now you focus on this, but you forgot this, you forgot that, you forgot that. Because I'm trying so hard to focus on this one thing. So based on this, what I'm trying to say is mental health is a big issue. And we all are going through it more than we want to realize, more than we know. I just put my little mental health issue out there. It's not really a big issue because I've been a smart guy regardless, you know. It's just stuff is harder for me now. Like, it's not funny. Like, I'm about to start writing sticky notes using my calendar on my phone, using my notepads, just because I've come to the realization that I need more structure. I need to go the extra mile to help sometimes remember and keep myself on track. I used to feel bad about it. I used to feel like, oh, I could do it without it. I don't need to do that. But I came to the conclusion that no, I need the extra help because my mind is it's too active. And all the ADHD is, or any of the fucking mental health issues there are, is just your brain and your activities is just wired differently. Like, you might have more of this than the average person. You know what I'm saying? More of that. Like, so ultimately, there's nothing really wrong with you. It's just your body is made differently, and the stigma around, mental health makes you feel like something's wrong with you. So I'm here to tell you right now, nothing's wrong with you. Put my own story out there. And this is a passion of mine, mental health. I love it because we all go through it. So what I advise people to do is start talking about it more, quit ignoring it, and support people who go through it more. Because I just feel like mental health issues do affect your interpersonal relationships with your friends, with your family, with your lover, because it's like so much to deal with sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But don't give up on somebody just because they are too much. With the mental issue or no mental issue, you shouldn't give up on people. Like, I don't even know what else to really say at this point. I just want to really just talk a little short video about mental health, my rumble with it, and then I feel like I'm overcoming it though. I've got my college degree. Now I see why my classes were so hard. My math class, I had to be in the tutor center every day because, learning is very hard when you have ADHD. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm so smart because I've done so much even with it. I'm working to my second degree now. I'm nervous, but I know I got it. I'm gonna be an example for people that have this or any other issues that affect your learning. You can overcome them bitches. You gotta just go the extra mile. That's really all I wanted. Mental health is important. We all are going through it to some degree. Quit ignoring it. We gotta talk about it more and support each other more. All right, y'all be blessed though.